8 signs that someone is a good-looking older man, even if he doesn't think so. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? But here's the real question. Have you ever wondered if people see you differently than you see yourself? Maybe you've brushed off compliments, thinking they were just being polite. Or maybe you've caught a glance in the mirror and thought, nothing special here. But what if I told you there are clever, undeniable signs that others find you attractive, even if you don't realize it? We often focus so much on what we don't like about ourselves that we miss the things others admire. That's why I'm here to share 8 clear signs that you might be a good-looking older man. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. As I walk you through these signs, take a moment to think, could these apply to you? If they do, you're going to see yourself in a whole new light by the end of this video. So stick around. And if you find yourself nodding along, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let's dive in. 1. Positive attention from others. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how people seem to enjoy being around you? Maybe it's subtle, like how the conversation naturally gravitates towards you in a group setting, or how people seem to listen a little more closely when you speak. You might brush it off as just being friendly, but here's the truth. People are drawn to what they find interesting. And yes, attractive. Here's an example. A friend of mine, let's call him Mark, always thought he was just an average guy. But everywhere we went, people were naturally drawn to him. Strangers would strike up conversations, ask for advice, or even give him compliments out of nowhere. He didn't see it as anything special, but I could tell what was really happening. It wasn't just about his looks, though that helped. It was his presence, the way he carried himself, the quiet confidence he exuded. People couldn't help but notice. And chances are, the same thing might be happening to you. Think about it. Do people often seek your input or seem comfortable sharing their thoughts with you? Do they go out of their way to include you in conversations or social gatherings? That's no accident. That's a sign of someone who stands out in a crowd. The thing is, most of us are so used to being ourselves that we don't see what makes us unique, but others do. So the next time you catch someone paying extra attention to you, whether it's a stranger, a colleague, or even a friend, don't brush it off. That's their way of saying, without words, you're someone worth noticing. And let me tell you, they mean it. 2. Frequent glances and eye contact. Here's something most people don't think about. How often do you catch people looking at you? And I don't just mean casual glances. I'm talking about those moments where someone seems to look a second too long or locks eyes with you, only to quickly look away like they've been caught. Let me tell you, that's not random. Think about this. The human brain is naturally drawn to what it finds attractive or intriguing. So when you're walking into a room or even just sitting quietly, those quick glances you catch out of the corner of your eye, they're a sign. People notice something about you, your presence, your confidence, maybe even the way you carry yourself, and it catches their attention. I've seen this happen firsthand. I felt like people were always looking at me, but I was probably just imagining it. I paid closer attention, and you know what? I started noticing it everywhere. At work, in coffee shops, even in casual conversations. People couldn't help but glance my way, whether it was my sharp sense of style, my posture, or just the energy I gave off. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be over the top. Sometimes it's precise. Maybe a coworker always looks up when you walk by, or a stranger at the grocery store seems to keep finding reasons to glance in your direction. These small moments say a lot. So, next time you catch someone stealing a look, don't second guess yourself. They're not just being polite or curious. They're noticing you, and chances are, they like what they see. 3. Unsolicited compliments. Let's talk about compliments. Those little moments when someone says something kind about you out of the blue. Have you ever had someone mention your style, your smile, or even the way you carry yourself, and it completely caught you off guard? If you have, let me tell you, that's not just random niceness. It's a huge sign of your attractiveness. Here's the thing. People don't go out of their way to compliment someone unless they genuinely mean it. Whether it's a stranger saying, "Nice jacket," a friend mentioning how sharp you look today, or even a random comment about your hair looking great, these moments reflect what others see in you. And the key word here is unsolicited. You're not fishing for compliments. They just happen. I've seen this play out so many times. A friend of mine once told me he didn't think much about his looks. He thought he was just plain. But every time we went out, people would compliment his sense of style or say something like, "You look like someone important." He'd laugh it off, thinking they were just being polite. But the reality, those compliments were proof that others noticed and admired him, even if he didn't see it himself. And it's not just about what you wear. Maybe it's the way you speak with confidence, the way you laugh, or even the way you treat others with kindness. These are qualities people admire, and they feel compelled to let you know. So the next time someone throws a compliment your way, don't dismiss it. Whether it's about your looks, your vibe, or even something small like your watch or shoes, it's a clue. It means people are paying attention to you, and they're seeing something worth noticing. 4. People seem nervous or flustered around you. Have you ever noticed someone acting a little off when they're around you? Maybe they fumble their words, avoid making eye contact, or seem overly eager to please. You might think, what's going on? But here's the truth. Sometimes people act nervous or flustered because they find you attractive, and they're not sure how to handle it. Let me give you an example. A colleague of mine once told me that during meetings, people would always stammer when presenting in front of him or get oddly quiet when he joined their group. He thought he was intimidating, but the reality was, his sharp appearance and confident attitude made others a little self-conscious. It wasn't about intimidation, it was admiration. Think about it. When someone is flustered around you, it's often a subconscious reaction to being in the presence of someone they find appealing. They might be overthinking their words, wondering how they come across, or simply distracted by your presence. It's not something they do intentionally. It's human nature. And it's not just strangers. Even friends or acquaintances might act differently. Have you ever had someone seem extra careful with what they say around you or overly enthusiastic when trying to make conversation? That's their way of showing interest, even if they don't realize it themselves. Here's the key. If you notice this kind of behavior happening consistently, don't chalk it up to coincidence. People are reacting to you, your looks, your confidence, your energy. So instead of feeling awkward about it, take it as a compliment. Nervousness or flustered behavior can be one of the most genuine signs that someone finds you undeniably attractive. 5. Being approached frequently. Let me ask you this. How often do people strike up conversations with you out of nowhere? Maybe it's a stranger at the gym asking about your workout routine, someone at a coffee shop complimenting your drink choice, or a random person asking for directions, even when there's no shortage of maps around. These moments might seem casual, but they're often a subtle sign of your attractiveness. Here's why. People are naturally drawn to others who seem approachable, confident, and appealing. If you find that strangers or acquaintances go out of their way to talk to you or seek your attention, it's not just a coincidence. There's something about your presence, your appearance, your energy, or the way you carry yourself that makes people want to connect with you. And it's not just strangers. Think about your daily life. Do coworkers stop by your desk more often than others? Do neighbors find reasons to chat with you? These moments might seem small, but they're signs that people enjoy being in your presence, often because they find you appealing. So, if you're constantly being approached, don't underestimate what it means. People don't go out of their way to connect with just anyone. If it's happening to you, it's a strong sign that you're making an impression, and a very attractive one at that. 6. People remember you. Here's the thing. People don't remember everyone they meet. Most interactions are forgettable. But when someone has an air of confidence, an appealing style, or a certain charm about them, it leaves a mark. It's not just about looks, though that plays a part. It's about the combination of how you present yourself and how you make others feel. Think about your own experiences. Do people tend to recognize you in public, even if you don't immediately remember them? Do old classmates or coworkers seem eager to reconnect? Do you ever hear, "I can't forget the way you insert something memorable"? These are all signs that your presence has a way of sticking in people's minds. It is a powerful and often very attractive quality to have if someone remembers you when you didn't expect it. Don't dismiss it as luck. It means you're the kind of person people find memorable. 7. Receiving flirtatious behavior. Flirting is one of the most obvious, yet often overlooked, signs of attraction. If you notice people being playfully teasing, overly complimentary, or finding excuses to touch your arm during a conversation, it's likely a sign they find you attractive. Sometimes it's in the subtle details, like someone leaning in a little closer when you're talking, holding eye contact longer than necessary, or laughing at your jokes even when they're not that funny. These behaviors are not random. They're deliberate, even if subconscious. Flirtation can also come in the form of compliments that seem a bit more personal than usual. For example, someone might comment specifically on your smile, your style, or even the way you carry yourself. They're not just being polite. They're showing genuine interest. Pay attention to these moments. Flirtatious behavior, no matter how subtle or overt, is a strong indicator that others are drawn to you, and often in more ways than just your personality. 8. Others imitate your style. When people start adopting your fashion sense, grooming habits, or even your mannerisms, it's a clear sign they see something worth emulating. Imitation is often subconscious, but it reflects admiration. If you've ever noticed someone asking where you got your jacket or suddenly showing up in a similar outfit, it's not just coincidence. They've taken inspiration from you. This extends beyond clothing. It could be the way you style your hair, the accessories you choose, or even the way you speak or carry yourself. For example, a colleague might start mimicking your professional tone, or a friend might suddenly adopt a similar grooming routine after complimenting yours. People naturally mirror what they admire, and when it comes to style, this is often a strong indicator of your appeal. Whether it's subtle or obvious, when others start replicating your look or behavior, it means you're setting a standard that others want to follow. So there you have it, 8 subtle yet powerful signs that you might be a good-looking older man, even if you don't think so. From the way people gravitate toward you and steal glances, to the compliments you receive and the style you inspire in others, these signs aren't just coincidences. They're clear indications that your presence leaves an impression, one that others notice, even if you don't. Here's the important takeaway. Attractiveness isn't always about what you see in the mirror. It's about the energy you bring, the confidence you carry, and the way you make others feel. These signs are proof that beauty isn't just skin deep. It's something that radiates from within and resonates with the people around you. Now, as you go about your day, take a moment to notice how others interact with you. You might just realize that you've been more impactful and appealing than you've ever given yourself credit for. If this video opened your eyes or gave you something to think about, make sure to like it and share it with someone who could use a confidence boost. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more life-growing advice, tips, and insights to help you discover the best version of yourself. Let's grow together, one step at a time.